Ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot happening in Jamaica right now. A lot is happening in Jamaica to our politics. And I'm heartened, I'm encouraged on one hand, and on the other hand, it is really sickening and sad to see what is happening. Even though I'm heartened and encouraged by what is happening, in one side, one aspect of it, the other aspect of it is that I'm sickened and by what is happening. Now, I've listened to a number of YouTube channels, some in support of the government, some not in support of the government, some in support of the opposition party, and some not in support of the opposition party. But exactly what is coming out of government, what is coming out of the cry of the people, so sickening and sad. Because I've been saying this for years. I've been saying it for years that if we continue to address our elected leaders in this offensive, disrespectful way in which we are now doing it, and not just the government in power, but also the PMP, because this kind of language has been shown all about now. And notice, ladies and gentlemen, years ago this kind of narrative was not accepted, but now it's becoming normal. Because when we look in the wider world, these things are becoming normal. People can say anything about politicians they want to say. Offensive or not, you can tell them what a politician could do with his mother and all. I expect to get away with it. Now, if we don't respect our our elected leaders, remember Jamaica is not a global village by itself. We are part of a global village. So we depend on other countries for our survival. Let me just throw this in there for a common understanding, common sense understanding. We are not a global village by ourselves. We are part of a global village whereby we depend on other countries for our survival and through the trade and exchange and what heap of things. So we can't stand alone. Let us stop and think. Let us stop and think. What images are we are creating for our own political leaders in our country, nationally and internationally, when we continue to speak of our leaders and our political spectrum in such negative, offensive, sickening, and disrespectful manner? What message are we sending? And how do we expect investment to come to a country when people are looking on and hearing what we are saying? That's for the negative side, the sad side of it. Now, the enlightened and encouraging side of it is that when you take a deep dive into what people are saying, look beyond the negative rhetorics, Mr. Prime Minister, because this now goes to the JLP specifically. And to those who are listening to this YouTube channel, now if you get to this far, I'm going to ask you to subscribe if you have not yet subscribed. And I want to shout a big appreciation to all our continued supporters and subscribers. We're happy for you and we're glad you continue to support us. And for those who haven't, listen, we have all intention of growing this channel. We know we can't grow it without you, so we're going to ask you to subscribe, like, share, and leave a comment. If what we're saying here makes sense, if it doesn't make sense, then let us know. As one man tells me to pack up and go back to Africa, I'm fine. Because Africa is rising, sir. You may not know that. Now, when we take a deep dive and peel away the negative rhetorics of what people are crying about, and the comments that those negative rhetorics that are made against both JLP and PMP politicians alike, especially to the JLP as it is right now, because the outcry in Jamaica is as loud, as boisterous, as negative, as sickening as it can get. We don't want it to get any worse than what it is right now. So to you, Mr. Prime Minister, I'm saying this. For us, what we have deduced coming out of all of this is that the people are crying out for transparency. Transparency and honesty. The people are crying out for some level of respect to be shown to them by being transparent, honest, accountable, and responsible as the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, as the leader of the government, and to lead by example, because this is what you campaigned on in your last general election. Transparency, honesty, accountability, reliability, responsibility, and respect for the people. What I've just alluded to about the people, sir, it is something that I don't believe you're listening to. I remember you were in Portland on your campaign trail. You let Portlanders know and all Jamaica know. Don't think that we are not listening and I don't hear your cry. I never forget you. Never forget it, sir. Because when a person hears the cry of the needy and you fail to respond, you're only fooling yourself, sir. Because the day you're going to need those cries is the day you're going to fall flat on your face. You're not hearing the cry of the people, Mr. Prime Minister. No, you're not. Ladies and gentlemen, I've said it before that the Prime Minister is trapped. I've said it in the last video I did. I mentioned that he's trapped. And let us not kid ourselves as Jamaican, because what has happened to the Prime Minister in this last MOU? There's a whole lot of people coming down on him about this, and how is this, and how is that, and how is that. One question for all of you people, even the PMP Mark Golan. Mark Golan, you said a lot about the Prime Minister. But I want to ask people one question, especially Mark Golan. If you were in power, Mark Golan, what difference would you make to this MOU, understanding that this transitional deportee agreement that was reached between Jamaica and the US? Tell us, Mark Golan, what difference would you make? What options would you have as a government if you were in government? What could you have done different? Because I'm quite sure Mark Golan himself cannot answer that. And for all the people who are detractors of this agreement, listen carefully. Listen. It's not Jamaica alone. If you don't know, other countries in the Caribbean are doing it just as well. And all of this started from 2016. All of this started from 2016. It's just that the current administration never have the power and the wherewithal to do it in the first term. Now they come back for us in the second term, and they have the things in place and the personnel in place to execute these kind of plans. Now, initially I said Jamaica is not a global village by itself. We're a part of a global village. Our economy is tied into certain things, into certain other economy. We need foreign exchange to trade, to bring in goods and services to the country. Because if anyone there in Jamaica can tell me what are we producing to earn enough foreign exchange to take care of Jamaica's import and leave a surplus for us at the end of the year, please say so. Leave it, drop it in the comment box for me. If we are producing anything in Jamaica that can put us in that situation. Because not even tourism alone can do it. Even when coupled with remittance, it's not able to do it now. It's not able to do it now. Because there's a thing going on right now with even Western Union. You can't log in that easily again on Western Union to send money to Jamaica. It's not happening easily again. For those who used to do it online, it's not happening easily again. You have to go somewhere else, some other point where you're getting less for your dollar at the exchange rate. MoneyGram remain a viable place, I can say that. I don't know if this is a free advertisement for MoneyGram, but it's not my intent. And it's not my intent against Western Union, but it's just to awaken Jamaican conscience to recognize exactly what is happening around them. I've been saying that Jamaica has been an existential crisis and we need as much money as we can get. The Prime Minister's trapped. He's now caught between giving up the sovereignty of Jamaica to align himself with a bigger nuclear power for security and all of these things, and for reduce drug shipment and all of these things. But we are the productive side of it. What happens on the production side of life? Because that's where we strive. We don't strive when we are supported by a big nuclear country. We don't strive when we have nuclear warships in our harbor. We strive on our productivity, and that's what we need to survive. Productivity. So the Prime Minister is trapped, ladies and gentlemen, for those of who are blasting and telling cursing out the Prime Minister and this and all sort of something. He's trapped between the frying pan and the fire. He's going to get burned whatever decision he makes. And this is why I'm saying Mark Golding and the PMP, if they were in power, could never do, and there was nothing different they could do to what is happening right now. So we have to get this straight in our head. That ship didn't come to Jamaica to meet for cultural exchange. It didn't come to Jamaica because we have the 7th or 8th largest harbor in this hemisphere. It didn't come for no cultural, no maritime, nothing. I'd say this to anyone who thinks that this is a joke thing. What I'm saying is not believable. Google Carrie Lake, the recent ambassador to Jamaica, U.S. ambassador to Jamaica. Google Carrie Lake's cabinet briefing before leaving for Jamaica, and hear what she says. Now let me hint you quickly in a shorter sentence as I can. Chinese influence is too big in the Caribbean. We have to do everything to get rid of the Chinese influence. So right now, the Kingston Harbor, she said the Chinese owns 49%, have a 49% stake in the harbor. The very harbor the US ship pulled up in. The problem and the point, ladies and gentlemen, is for Jamaica. They're squeezing our government for Jamaica to do everything to get rid of the Chinese. Look how long Jamaica has been asking US to come in physically and help. What was done? That harbor has been there for years begging for help until the Chinese come and invest in it. Our port of entry. Kingston Wharf has been begging help for years. What did the US do about it? The very first time Jamaica government called and asked the US to help us stem the gun flow into Jamaica, what was their response? Are we all forgotten? Have we all forgotten their first response? They didn't commit to helping Jamaica. Jamaica has to, on their side, do what they have to do while they do what they do on their side. They continue to do what they do. They didn't make no specific plan to help Jamaica. I'm saying this, ladies and gentlemen, because I want you to understand the position the current government is in right now. Like I said, it's a frying pan fire situation. You jump out of fire, drop in a frying pan. Jump out of the frying pan, you drop back into the fire. So wherever Andrew Holness and the administration turn right now, they will get burned because the big bad wolf next door is at your doorstep and telling you, this is what I want. The big mistake the Prime Minister make for us here to watch what they do, Mr. Andrew Holness, is that during 2016 when you were visited by Sean Spicer, you were not transparent with the nation. Marco Rubio Sean Spicer did visit you 2017. Marco Rubio visit you 2025. You were not, again, transparent with the nation. The very same reason you gave for Marco Rubio visit was the very same reason you gave for Sean Spicer visit. Where did change up a couple of words. And here come the big bad ship in our harbor for a week or more. The reason you gave for the visit, sir, mimic what you said about Marco Rubio visit and Sean Spicer visit. If one really get down to it, you did not say anything new. Mentioning peace and security and safety and maritime, this and maritime that, is all understanding, all issues that had been in place with America for years. Nothing new. Nothing new. And it doesn't take a big nuclear ship to sail into the harbor to reassure us that those agreements we had with the US before will continue. Mr. Prime Minister, I heard you also mention something about democracy. You said, you asked the nation, or you made the point to the nation that our democracy is the best and the most stable democracy in the world. And you go down to trying to reassure people, trust me, believe me, our democracy is the best and the most stable democracy in the world. That's your word, Mr. Prime Minister. Well, let me say this, sir, because I kind of understand where you're coming from with that, in the sense that you're just trying to make people feel comfortable. You're trying to make people feel comfortable, take a step back and look at themselves, look at what we have in the country. Not what is happening, but what we have. But here's the thing about democracy, Mr. Prime Minister. Democracy strives on transparency. Democracy strives on honesty, 2. 3, democracy strives on responsibility. That's 3. 4, democracy thrives on accountability. 5, democracy strives on respect. 5 pillars of democracy that supports a democratic society. As it is, sir, when you listen to the cry of the people and the way they talk about you and your government and your stewardship, when they talk about Mark Golan and its stewardship, peel away the negatives and disrespectful and sickening comments. Peel that away, and you can hear the people's cry for transparency, which is not coming from your government, Mr. Prime Minister. People want a transparent, honest, trustworthy government. Even in this issue, with its memorandum of understanding for the transitional deportee program that you signed with the US, people are still begging for a full explanation. And the honest thing to do, sir, even though you're trying to save Jamaica's economy, which a lot of people won't understand, it is important to talk to the people of the country. Let them know exactly what is happening. You're a Jamaican, sir, and you know that sometimes when you talk to a man, even a man come and work for you, and he's expecting to get him paid Friday, and Friday you turn up, and Thursday evening you turn up and say to him, say, boy, you know, so I'm going to pay you tomorrow, but I don't have the money yet, you know. Saturday or over the weekend, I'm say, wait, oh, you stay a yard with food. And say, I have nothing in the boss. And say, why? Say, a little thing, you put in some food for the weekend, Monday morning, me have your cash, your salary for you. People will understand these simple things, sir. That's what the people are asking for you. You also mentioned that common sense is not sense. Common sense doesn't make sense. And you're absolutely right, Mr. Prime Minister. Common sense doesn't make sense because at your level, common sense doesn't make sense. You can't govern by common sense. So it doesn't make sense for you. Because I understand what you're saying. But at our level, we don't have the facts, we don't have the details. We don't even see the meat, how much, we have no idea how much meat is on the bone. But the only thing we have for ourselves at our level, sir, is common sense. By watching what you say, but what you do and what you say. That's where our common sense makes sense at our level, because that's the only thing we have to call you out. And I want you, I'm throwing this appeal out there to you, Mr. Andrew Holness, the Prime Minister of Jamaica. You can get it done, because you're in the driver's seat. Don't tell me you're in the driver's seat and you can't drive. I'm not here for JLP or PMP, but I'm building, I'd like to give the country's leader confidence to get it done. Because if you're in the seat and you can't get it done, walk away. Create that situation for Walker Miss Malawi Ford can tell you the legal ramifications of walking away and how it can go. Or how it should go. So walk away if you can't do it. There's no shame in walking away if you can't, something get too big for you. But you can do it. You can do it. So watch what they do is putting the trust and confidence in you to do it, but we are going to watch every move you make and everything you say and everything you do. And we're not afraid to jump on it, Mr. Holness. It's important, it's necessary, and it's critical because the people of Jamaica have lost trust and confidence in the Jamaica administration under your stewardship simply because, sir, government lacks transparency. Government lacks transparency. There's so much happening in Jamaica right now, Mr. Prime Minister. But you still remain the leader of the country. And it is up to you, no matter what is happening, to tell your country what is happening. You campaign on during your last campaign, sir, you spoke about governing on behalf of the people. But if you're not talking to the people, if you're not informing the people, if you're not transparent with them, the people cannot build trust and confidence in you and your operation. It is simple as that. And if you cannot do that on a consistent basis, sir, these negative, disrespectful, offensive, sickening, sad comment is going to get worse. And when these people from the other side do it and it get worse to you, your supporters are going to get worse with their comments about the other side too. And where do we go from there? Finally, Mr. Prime Minister, you talk about democracy. A democratic government is a government by the people, for the people, and a government of the people. So far, sir, the JLP-led administration is a government by the people. But it has yet to fulfill its intent to be a government for the people and a government of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want you to encourage you to like, share, subscribe to this channel. We intend to grow it. We can't grow it without you, and we're asking for your support. For those who have already subscribed to our channel, we ask you to continue. We bless you. We thank you for your continued support and continue to help us grow this channel. When we get it to where we can get it, I'm sure we're going to give it back. Because we are trying right now behind the scene to create a situation where we can bring an issue together or a foundation together where we can start to network back home, a network in Jamaica, and get out there and reach people. Reach people. I use my platform. I'm practically helping 2 persons right now going through school in Jamaica. And it's not like I'm even getting anything from YouTube. I'm doing that out of pocket. I'm doing it out of pocket because I realize that people on the ground in Jamaica needs help. And the government is only a government by the people, not for the people and not of the people. The people is not feeling that effect and that benefit. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Lennie Robbins YouTube channel. Know your politics. Let's come together to create a better understanding for one and all. Blessed love to Jamaica. I want to say thank you again. Thanks, Jamaica. Be blessed.